Erich Fromm has summarized all these phenomena under the description of escape from freedom. In German, we had translated as fear from freedom. Because the unripe or enlightened human has a feeling of general faint and impotence, he turns himself over to superior authorities. In politics, this means a big trust in authoritarian guidance and leadership. I come to the second part, authoritarian thinking in respect to internal security. In the home policy of the Federal Republic of Germany, old values have still a high significance and importance. Examples are, I would like to ask the question, do we live in a surveillance state? The social liberal minister of Interior, Chile, arranged in the last 2 years control and monitoring of 9 million personal data records. Most of the citizens which are concerned do not know anything of it. 20,000 suspects are filtered. Police operations. There are frequent demonstrations against all possible political decisions. Mostly there are claimed bad conditions in public and in society. The reaction of public authorities is mostly a preventing operation of the police, but often in an inadequate extent. I miss the balance between force actions and force reactions in the form of public discussions and negotiations. Why are the majors often too proud to meet with neo-Nazis or anarchist groups in order to reduce tensions in a preliminary stage? My question, is that meant too naive from myself? I believe that many police actions to contain excessive demonstrations are a proof of inability for public discourse. Justice. The legal operations in our society to secure the public order have been escalated in the last time. Only in the last 4 years, under a social liberal interior minister, 100 laws were changed concerning a stronger security, but concerning less freedom too. The following recent event was very interesting. The German government had much trouble to enact a law for the proscription of violence in child education. But this could only be achieved against the opposition of conservative parties. A new item, penal justice. Jurisdiction is in our society, also in the 21st century, is characterized still by a mentality of retribution. This is a characteristic of an archaic view of life. An eye for an eye. You see it all the world. A quarter of the German population is advocating the reintroduction of the death penalty. I personally miss in our society a fundamental mental, psychological discussion about the sense for punishment in general and about the penal jurisdiction that is justified in this sense. Deficits of democracy. Do we live already in an ideal democracy in Germany? I discover still a lot of unrecognized, unidentified, and unconscious matters of undemocratic behavior. This has its roots in authoritarian pattern and archetypes. I would like to have a look on the following fields. The German Basic Law, Grundgesetz in Germany, is sometimes not handled seriously. I am astonished about the ability of many prominent politicians which ignore simply elementary constitutional rules. Two examples. The German constitutional law instructed a plebiscite about the reunification of Germany. This did never take place. Second, the German Basic Law contains clear rules in respect to engagement of German military forces out of area. But very often they are ignored by the political leadership. Dictatorship of political parties. Normally we speak about free elections, but actually we vote only for candidates which were nominated already before by the parties themselves. The people have only little influence on which personalities become representatives of the population in the parliament. Hans Herbert von Arnim points out that the fact that normal people can go to the elections, but they have relative few possibilities to select the candidates. In German we say, die Bürger dürfen zur Wahl gehen, aber nicht auswählen. In the parliamentary parties, a party discipline often is predominating. Also, each delegate is completely independent due to the constitution, and also he is only responsive due to his conscience. He is often forced strongly by his own party to submit himself to its discipline and restraint. There are resistance and reservations against plebiscite procedures. Political leadership show great resistance against all attempts to introduce plebiscite procedures. They do not want to give up their quasi-authoritarian style of leadership. The unconscious power of media. It can hardly be described which extent of power media has in our society. I would like to show some characteristics of an authoritarian influence. First, the subjective opinion of a broadcasting station or a newspaper is indoctrinating wide social groups of the population. They abuse the immaturity of the people. Second, many media permanently try to get influence in politics by revealings, by intimidations, by slandering, and by defamatory statements. The third, the permanent disaster messages and the stimulation of the mood of crisis cause fear in the population.